Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Millennials Guide to Real Estate Investing. Today I have Chris Bruce here. Thanks so much for coming on the show today, Chris.
That's why I appreciate you bringing me on the show, man. I love millennials, right? I'm a millennial myself, so I appreciate you bringing me on.
Absolutely. So tell everybody a little bit more about yourself. How'd you get started in real estate? What'd you start doing? And when you did get started in real estate?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2006 was actually my first introduction to real estate. My dad had an opportunity for me to buy a property in Detroit, Michigan, which is where I'm from. I was living in Florida at the time, and it was a rental property. So I bought my first rental property, $99,000 mortgage. I financed on the east side of Detroit, and had a tenant in there. Then the market crashed, right? So I ended up losing that property. I got into wholesaling 3 years later because I was introduced from a guy that was advertising on the internet. So 2009 was the first time I got introduced to the wholesaling side of things, being able to flip properties without using your cash or credit. And I started, just going at it, learning different things. What's kind of unique about my story for some people that it may help them is that I didn't just get a course and things just worked out really good for me. I put 26 properties under contract because this was the time where there was a lot of properties on MLS.
Yeah.
So I was going after REO properties, bank-owned homes. I put 26 deals under contract and none of them closed.
Oh my God.
I had to back out every single one of them.
Wow.
It was. I mean, it was hurting everything about me. I mean, it hurt my ego.
For real.
Like I was like, yo, why am I struggling? Like I'm doing everything they telling me to do, but I was just making a whole bunch of mistakes and stuff.
Yeah.
But that 27th one, I finally did my first deal, made $5,000. And then in May 7th, 2010, I was able to quit my full-time job and do this full-time. So.
Wow. And that was about a year, because you started in 2011 then doing the wholesaling?
2009 I started. It's
2010.
2010.
So 1 year in. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Jeez.
1 year I was. But I'm going to tell you this. It wasn't like I had a whole bunch of money saved.
Yeah.
It wasn't like my business was super booming.
Yeah.
I just got to the point where I was like, you know what? The book that made me decide was Rich Dad Poor Dad. When I read that book, I was like, yo, I'm quitting.
Yeah.
I'm bet on myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Wow. So you jumped the boat early. And then were you still living in Florida at the time and doing wholesaling back in Detroit?
Yeah. So no, I was. One thing I want to clear up too. So I did my rental property in Detroit, but after that whole crazy stuff happened, the market crash and everything, I learned how to do real estate here in Tampa.
Got it.
So my business was here in Tampa where I was living, because it was more manageable and things like that. And I was just wholesaling here locally. And a year in, like I said, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna bet on myself.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, I quit my job. I didn't even give them a 2-week notice. Like
you just walked out?
Like it was like around this time. So around January 2010 was when I made the decision. I read the book.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit May 7th. And what I did to force myself to make sure that I did it, because, I was still nervous. Like, what the So this is how I forced myself to make the decision that I was going to have to do it regardless. I took all of my vacation time and sick time before May.
Oh, wow.
So if I would have stayed there the whole rest of the year,
yeah,
I would have been screwed on taking time off.
Wow. And then were there even back in 2009, was there even probably wholesaling there wasn't a lot of information.
It wasn't a lot. So
yeah.
it was very little YouTube videos. The information back then was workbooks and DVDs.
Oh my god.
There was no digital courses. The course that I bought, I had to wait 2 weeks for it to come in the mail.
You forgot it came in the mail. What the hell is this? Wow, that's crazy. And then what were they preaching back then? Because was it like bandit signs and direct mail?
Oh, yeah. So the course that I bought, it was called REO Rockstar. It was all about literally buying bank-owned properties.
Got it.
So because it was a different market then. So literally the difference between now and then is that you could go on MLS and there was plentiful deals, but it was more challenging finding buyers.
Got it.
So we would just get with a realtor, look at the properties on the MLS, make offers. So I could get a property like this under contract. It probably wasn't always at the right price. That's why I had to back out a lot of them.
Yeah.
But it was challenging finding a buyer. So that was the market that I was in back in that day. It was totally different. But yeah, on the people that did have a course, bandit signs, direct mail, door knocking. That's all they was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is very different from today, which now you hear all about cold calling and bandit signs don't work and direct or like just the conversion is so much less. But back then it wasn't even a thing. And I've only seen it come. I mean, I'm not really in the wholesaling space. I'm in the rental property side, but there's a lot of still over the last couple of years, the cold calling thing has just like kind of blown up. So,
oh man,
and I want you to talk about that kind of with so you started doing Tampa, and so for the last 10 years, then have you just been doing Tampa wholesaling, or have you slowly expanded that business?
Yeah,
out?
Good question. So, back in 2011, it's a weird story. I had a guy that reached out to me that lived in New Zealand, and he was like, "Yo, I have a U.S. bank account, I have a U.S. business account, business company, and all this different stuff." And he was like, "I need help marketing." And so I was like, "Okay." And I just charged him $100. I wasn't even a coach or anything like that. So I was just like, "Yeah, Jeez. Give me $100. I'll teach you some stuff I knew." I would never charge that now.
I know, right?
But long story short, I taught him some different things. He did his very first deal from New Zealand. He never saw the house in South Florida. Made $9,000 right before Christmas. And I was like, yo, if I just showed this guy from New Zealand how to make money.
For real.
Did everything over the phone. I was like, I can do this myself.
Yeah.
So that's when I started looking into. I went to Orlando first. That was the first market I jumped into and did my first virtual deal. And then I started moving into Jacksonville and other markets across the country.
Wow.
So, yeah, I had done virtual stuff for a while now. It's really not as hard as people make it. I mean, obviously, you live in the West Coast. You got rental properties and stuff in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So it's just about having systems and good people and things like that.
Got it. Yeah, and can you tell me a little bit more about the out-of-states? So, like, if you're going to build a team in Tampa, it's going to be, you can always, if you get a warm lead, you can always go and do the thing, right? But the issue is when it's out of state, and for example, if you're doing it from Tampa to Cleveland or Tampa to Detroit, it's like, okay, now I need to have that person on the ground. So what are the different people that you do need on the ground? And it must be like a closer or some sort of like acquisitions person, correct? Is that all you need, just that one guy who's part of your team, or is there any other people or functions that are needed to make it successful?
Yeah, so I did it two ways. In Jacksonville, I probably did about, I think we did about 14 deals back in 2013. And when I did that with him, it was a guy named Kevin Jackson. And he was like, he did every type of real estate. He wholesaled, he bought, he had a whole turnkey business. So me and him partnered, and I closed the deal over the phone as far as acquisitions.
Yep.
And then he would actually like sell the deal for me. So that's one way you can do it, is JP with another investor. Now the way my business works is I have an acquisition team. My main guy, Mike, he closes all the deals over the phone. We literally make offers over the phone. And then what we do is we have a runner that'll go out to the house. So like if you knew, anybody's listening to this and you're like, how do I do this virtual and I don't have somebody in that market, you could put an ad on Craigslist and get somebody just to go look at a house and take photos and things like that for you for $50 to $100. Like we usually pay like $50 for somebody. The lowest I ever paid somebody was $25, and they would go get all the photos, video of it, send it to me, and then I will either Western Union the money. Yeah. I mean, that was back in the day, so now you can cash app and things like that. Western Union, right? And then send the money, and then boom. I mean, you got a whole visual of the house.
Damn.
And the good thing is that if you made an offer over the phone, sight unseen, you can always go back and renegotiate after you see the photos and videos.
Got it. And so are you still doing that today, where you guys are still having success with closing over the phone and sending everything over the – because I tried to wholesale a couple of years ago out of state, doing it virtually, right? And so the biggest pain point was that people were always like, oh, come to my – let's – come to my house and take photos. Or it was like their house, they've owned it for 30 years and they didn't really want to like move and sell, or they didn't want to just like sign some document with some guy. They don't even know where he is over the phone. So it was kind of about building the rapport, but then also like I was like, damn, I wish I lived like 5 minutes away. I would just drive over there and like show them I was legit and stuff. So closing people over the phone without actually having a face, people just got scared pretty much. And also,
I mean, it's definitely it's all about positioning. One, I had to teach my acquisition guy because he was so used to going to houses.
Yeah.
And then when we showed him some different things to say and the positioning really to be able to close it over the phone, now that's all he does. Even our properties in Tampa, you know, we don't go to the house until after we got a signed contract.
Wow.
But here's the difference too, though. See, what I think you said, if you're targeting people that own a house and live in it, it's more challenging.
Yeah.
See, we're going after people that this is not their primary residence.
Got it. And that's going to be a much easier conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they may be out of state too. So they may have a house in Cleveland and they may live in Tampa. Hey, I live in Tampa too. We're interested in just buying rental properties there, and we saw your property. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then so that makes it a little bit easier. If you can have your... So I guess the other part of the question is the cold calling side of things. So are you guys using out-of-the-country Filipino cold callers? Do you guys have cold callers here in the U.S.? Or how are you guys... Because I'm sure you've tried it all, but what have you had the most success with, and what are you working with now?
Yeah, so 2018, we were like killing it with the cold calling. We had Filipinos. Everything was working. And then like it's weird. Like 2019 came in, and I don't know if it's because a lot of people on the internet talking about it. We weren't getting a lot of responses. Our response rate dropped. We weren't getting any deals, and so like we made a transition to say that we need to try some different things. Yeah. And so the biggest shift that we did was we started getting into like ringless voicemails and more so text messaging. So we have our own text messaging software, and we have been literally getting so many more deals from text messaging.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So like that's been our like number one thing that we use, even like now in 2020.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We grab a list and we text them, because here's the thing. This is probably what cold calling still works. We still have some people that are doing it. Yeah. We're getting ready to transition from the Philippines because it's just not really working as effective for us.
Yeah.
But with cold calling, you got to do like 4,000, 5,000 calls. With text messages, I could probably send out 500 to 1,000 to get something.
Wow.
What happens is that with cold calling, most people that own a cell phone, you think about it. If somebody calls your phone, that number is not stored in your phone.
Yep.
And it's from a different area code.
Yep.
Who's this calling my phone? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You probably won't even answer.
Yep.
But if you get a text message,
way less abrasive. Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to ignore.
Yep.
And so that's what we started doing. And again, our response rate shot up. We're able to literally take somebody from a text onto an actual call and then close them over the phone.
Wow. So does that text message just look like something like, hey, what does that text message look like?
Yeah. So we have a few different ones. One of them might be we like to just start off and just be like, hey, Chris, how's it?
Because it has to be soft.
It has to be very soft.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, Chris, how's your day going? Then somebody like, who is this? Oh, how you doing? And you say, my name's Chris. I'm a local investor. I was just trying to see if you may be in the market to sell your property.
Got it.
They say yes or whatever. Then we'll continue the conversation based off of that. We do get people that cuss us out and stuff like that too.
Of course.
But that has helped. Like we literally had people on our team that cold called a lead, and then they never answered. We sent them a direct mail. They didn't even respond. Text them. We ended up getting the deal. It was crazy.
Wow. And have you guys ever had like a full deal just be completed over text message? Like not even
one time, only one time. One time in the past 10 years. I couldn't believe it. This was 2017. And I still have all of the like receipts and stuff. I never even met the owner. Like we literally I made the offer through text. Like it was crazy. I even wanted to hop on the phone with him, and he was like, "No, we can just continue to text."
Wow, that's crazy. So at some point you do like to take it up to like maybe explain the contract or do
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it's super hard. Again, it's text message. You can't hear any. There's no rapport that can really be built.
Yeah.
You can't hear the tonality of somebody, so it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to do it. So I tell anybody, but I had a student of mine too. Like I told him, I said, listen, you cannot close a deal over the phone. I did it one time, but you can't do it. I mean, through text.
Through text.
You have to get on the phone. He did a deal, made $28,000.
Oh my gosh.
Never talked on the phone with this person.
Wow.
But she was facing foreclosure and she had a small mortgage, so that might have been why. It's she had desperation.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. And then, so are you guys? What kind of platform are you guys using to then send out those messages? Because I know there's like, it's also like a soft point. Because for my business, the turnkey business, we have like a text message blast. So like, we have a new house for sale. I text all 10,000 of my clients.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, we got a new house for sale. Go to the website. Holy shit. We send. It's like a 10% click-through rate in 3 seconds.
Yep.
So 10,000, I have like 1,000 people go to the website, and our website used to crash all last year. Every time we do it, it would crash.
Yeah.
And so we didn't even know how many people were clicking through because it would go to 800 and then the website would go down, so then nobody could click. So like, I was like, there could have been like 2,000 people clicking through,
right.
but we just never figured it out. And so those text messages we use Textedly. But that comes from like a 33-000 phone number. So what you know what I'm saying? It's not like an actual phone number. So is there a tool that you guys are using to?
Yeah, we got our own. We have our own custom software built.
Oh wow!
And we have we're able to have different phone numbers from different area codes.
Oh wow!
It's a real phone number.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yep. And
That's
then we got
awesome.
we got a suppression list. We have like filters in for people that are actively suing people, litigation and stuff. We have all that stuff just to keep us compliant, because that's one thing you don't want is, message the wrong person and they be like, I'm gonna sue you.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the issue too. So like whenever we send out those messages, even though they're our clients or they signed up for a list, some people still will just sue you based on nothing or just want to take you to court. So
exactly.
We always have to put like the thing at the bottom that says text stop to like be removed from the list. We try to like protect ourselves a little bit. All right, cool. And then so you said you're doing stuff in text messaging, and then which markets are you guys doing now for the virtual wholesaling side of your business?
So of course Tampa still. We just launched this month Cleveland, Indianapolis, Jacksonville. And we're playing around with Oklahoma City as well too. So we're testing those out because I was just like Tampa. It's a good market, but it's super competitive. There's so many people because it's like the guru city, I guess. There's a lot of people here, so everybody and plus the returns are way better than Miami.
Yeah.
So
got it.
We was just like let's take this stuff on the road. We can do this stuff. I mean everything we're doing, closing everything on the phone here. So same thing.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then are you guys, when you do move to a market like Cleveland, so I do a lot of stuff in Cleveland. When you guys go to a market like that, is there a certain price tag or ARV or neighborhood price range that you're trying to stay in? The reason I ask is because we do a lot of stuff in like the $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 price tag neighborhood for ARVs. So for wholesalers, for like rental properties, it's fantastic. There's super high cash flow, property taxes low, everything makes sense for like the burr. But when you're a wholesaler, now the numbers are all crunched, and your $10,000 fee now looks like a $3,000 fee. So when you guys go and target a certain neighborhood, are you guys like looking a little bit higher, like over $100,000? Do you not give a shit, or like what's the?
Yeah, we don't really care. We know that in like a smaller market like Cleveland, we just gotta play the averages of just doing volume. We're playing the volume game more so because we know that we're not gonna get 11,000 average deal like we get in Tampa.
Yep.
We already know that.
Yep.
So what we'll do is in any type of market, we look at the cash transactions. Is there a lot of people buying cash? What zip codes are they? What areas are they? What type of beds? How many beds and baths? Once we know that, then that way we can go ahead and target those specific areas. And again, we're just going to play out the volume.
Got it.
Because Cleveland has a lot of cash transactions.
Yeah, all of ours we do everything cash too. We've never even gotten a loan on. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, so are you guys then using, that brings me to my next question, which is finding the buyers for those deals. Since you already did the homework up front to know where
Yep.
those people are buying, then do you guys go and skip trace and text message all those guys,
Exactly.
get their
Exactly.
emails, and then, hey, we got a deal in your zip code. You bought 12 of them last month.
Yep. We
Got
got
it.
something for you. Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Awesome. And then what do you guys see is going to happen in the next couple of years? Is it just going to be you moving into more and more markets, or what's kind of your game plan over the next couple of
Yes.
years?
Now, good question. So, right now, we're looking to expand. You know, like I said, we've jumped into these different markets. We're going to continue the wholesaling as the market continues to be at where it is. I know there's going to be a shift happening. Is we're due for one. So our thing was really wholesale, stack capital, get ready for the downshift, so then we can start really buying and taking over a lot of assets once everything shifts. My main goal is, because I'm thinking long term, because I've been doing this for so long, I don't want to be wholesaling the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I really want to get into multifamily space.
Got it.
That's where I'm looking to educate myself this year and really go into that, because I know with single family, you got to have so many. You can't do 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not enough cash flow coming in.
Yeah.
You really have to have 50 to 100, if not more.
Yep.
And so I know I don't want to really dabble in that space personally. I think it's all about what's your personality.
Yeah.
Myself, I don't want to deal with it. I'd rather have a multi-family unit.
Got it.
So that's where I want to go.
Have you thought about where you'd want that? Would you want that in Tampa?
No, it don't have to even be here. Nope. I haven't really thought about exactly where. I was just educating myself because I'm a noob when it comes to commercial space.
Yeah. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah. Because same for me too. I mean, we had this turnkey business. We've been doing it for the last 4 years or so, which is pretty much just flipping houses, and we just have clients lined up ready to go, right? Because we're selling them as rentals with tenants in place. We started taking that cash and using it to buy multifamily. So I know exactly what you mean. And last year we bought 71 units in Memphis, Tennessee. And so slowly we've been growing that portfolio as well. And yeah, because it does get scary right now with the way things are. And, we have like 20 or 30 houses under construction, and then single family homes. And then like if the market does take
I'm scared. I know, because that's what happened with a lot of people. My biggest thing, my mentors, they told me, they would say, listen, make sure you have cash flow, make sure you have passive income, because like people with big staffs and, like you say, a lot of projects and things like that, if it does shift, whenever it does, if you don't have nothing to cover and pay,
exactly,
you end up getting screwed.
I know, exactly. But thank God mine are like rental properties that will actually cash flow, even if, as long as the tenant stays in place, like,
yeah,
we'll be good. But yeah, I mean, we slowly been getting into that space as well. And yeah, it's definitely a learning curve though. Even if you've done like a bunch of single family homes, it's definitely a way larger team as well. So, we bought like all these 71 units, and then we had like 8 or 9 units vacant. And I was like, holy shit, what are we going to, like, it takes one unit, it takes like 3 to 4 weeks because we do them nice. And then I was like, holy shit, we're going to be renovating all of 2020 to get these units done. Yeah, it's crazy. Awesome. Well, tell everybody a little bit more about your course. I know you have a course. I think you launched it. When did you launch that?
Well, I'm always updated. My virtual wholesaling course. I launched it, I think, when did I launch it? 2014, maybe, I think, 14 or 15.
Because I think a couple of years ago when I was getting into real estate on Bigger Pockets, I saw, and I was on Bigger Pockets a lot and doing a lot of research. I think I stumbled upon your landing, because I went back to your landing page yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, I think I've been here before. And so I think some kind of marketing you did.
Super old too.
Yeah.
I haven't been on Bigger Pockets in forever, but
I know.
It's
tell everybody a little bit more about your course, and then how to get in touch with you if they want to learn more, if you can become a mentor to some people in the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I wanted to bring to the market was a little bit different. There's a lot of free education out there, which is great on YouTube. So what I did was just put together something where if someone wants to go virtual, they want the systems and processes, we actually include our text messaging software that we have. As a member, you get it for free, and you can be able to use it, all our text scripts and things like that as well too. So I do have that course called Virtual Flipping Riches 3.0. We're always updating it. We do coaching calls every 2 weeks. We just did one last night, inside our Facebook group. So if you want to, jump on we got like a little free training we give away for people, and that we do offer you to join at the end. So that's virtualwholesaleclass.com. You can just sign up and, like I said, attend the free training. It's an on-demand training or whatever. So it's not live. And yeah, I mean, if you want to, get in contact with me, I mean, I'm on all social media. Just look me up, Detroit Mogul Instagram. If you just type in Chris Bruce, it'll pop up.
Oh, man. Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on the show today. It was great to have you, and I learned a lot.
Thank you.